Okay, so this is a scene from Moneyball, and tell me what in a nutshell, Miles, what happens in this scene?
So I guess in a nutshell, Cole is the GM. I'm the assistant GM, and he's telling me that I need to learn how to fire people since I've never had to do that before.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
it's not exactly something that I'm comfortable with.
Gotcha.
So
All right. And from your perspective, Cole, you've been kind of looking at him like he's going to be like the next you.
Yeah, he's my golden boy. I have a lot of faith in him. I hired him, and I really believe in what he brings to the table. I think he's a genius. So
Nice.
I definitely want him to be the best he can be.
Yeah, it's like you've taken him under your wing.
Yes.
You know, he's my boy. I've told everybody about him. Like,
Yeah.
he's the next me. So the more that you raise the stakes, that everybody knows about him in the league.
Yes.
Okay, like you've been at corporate meetings, meetings with all the owners, and they've talked to you like, so after you to do whatever, who's your next boy? And you've told them all about him. Okay?
Yes.
So Miles, you're the guy. So you don't look very happy about that. So at this point, at the beginning of the scene, does the scene start with you already kind of bummed, or are you, because you're thinking about the firing, or what?
no, I'm trying to this scene actually starts on a happy note. I'm just kind of trying to
Why are you happy?
I guess stay connected to that.
That's okay.
It's not that I'm starting in a bad place. I'm actually starting in a good place because he tells me that he wants me to go on the road with the team, and I'm happy about that.
And then
and go ahead. What were you gonna say, Cole?
Yeah, and then he starts happy, but then he starts to get nervous that I'm asking him to do something that's.
And so at this point, you have gotten the job, though, Miles. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm already the assistant GM.
And are you? But it's you're always kind of auditioning, and I'm sure it's the same in basketball, right, Cole? I mean, you're on the team until you're not, right?
Yes.
So they replace you. So it's always an audition. But so at this point, you do have the gig, Miles. But like what does it mean to suddenly be going on the road? Why would you be happy about that if you already got the job? Is that something that you normally don't do?
I normally don't go on the road. No. Normally the GM goes on the road because he says, "Hey, I want you to start going on the road with the team," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, fine, but like you don't even go on the road with the team." So then, and he's like, and that's what kind of launches us into the scene of him saying he can't form the relationships with the players, and he's got to be able to do all this stuff like cut them and send them down, and that's kind of his reasoning. But I'm more than happy to go on the road.
So hang on a second. I got to make sure I'm following this. Would you normally were doing what he was doing, Miles? Cole?
For me, Billy Bean, he's a little superstitious, and so he doesn't want to go on the road with the team, doesn't want to get close knit with the guys because he has to be able to be cutthroat and be able to cut them. He needs to be able to just have that, that GM mentality where he can't really, if he gets really personally connected to these guys, then
Got it. All right, it's harder to fire him. So you don't normally go on the road.
No.
So then why are you going on the road today?
I'm telling him that he needs to go on the road.
So, but you're not going.
I'm going to start traveling with the team with all their games and stuff, and I'm kind of going to report back to him as if he were there himself. It's like he's sending a proxy.
I see. And so, but normally once he takes over and does your job, he will not be traveling with the team. Is that fair to say, or no?
I feel like GMs in baseball sometimes do tend to, well, at least the way this scene makes it seem like GMs typically are the ones traveling with the team, or else I don't know why I would be saying, well, why aren't you don't even travel with the team, So
you're saying, Cole, your character's kind of the exception to most general managers because most of them do travel.
Yeah, but also I think if he were to travel, like he would travel separately and like meet the team there. Like he wants to kind of doing his own.
So then again, just from an organic standpoint, like why do you want him to travel with the team when you never do that yourself?
I want him to do something for the team. I think it would be beneficial for him to do that.
Why? But you never did it.
I'm asking him. It's not about me. I'm just like, I'm sending it off to
I
you.
understand that. I get that. I'm just saying from an organic, honest standpoint, you've got to figure out what's driving you to make him do this. Why do you want him to do it? Like, if you don't even do it, then what do you get out of asking him to do this?
I know that I have my issues, but I want him to be even better. I want him to be able
That makes
to.
sense. Okay.
I want him to be able to connect with the guys, but also be able to be cutthroat.
Gotcha. So you want him to be like, you don't want him to have the same superstitions you do.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's almost like somebody who has OCD, right? Like, I don't want you to be the guy who's always washing his hands.
Yeah.
I want you to not wash your hands every like 5 minutes. Okay? So you're saying to him, I want you to be better than me. You travel with the team because that's what you should be doing. It's just I'm kind of the exception. So so you're going to learn how to travel with the team and you're going to learn how to fire.
Yes.
That makes sense. So we cleared that up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And so in the scene, you're basically, how does the scene start? You're saying you're going to travel with the team?
Yeah.
The scene starts right after that line.
Yeah. All right, so he's just told you, and so you're feeling pretty good, like, wow, he's never traveled with the team, and he's asking me to travel with the team. I'm like,
he's trusting me to do it.
He's like really likes me, and I'm doing really good, and like things are going really good, and
he's giving me a lot of responsibility.
And then the last question is, have you ever been a general manager of a team before this job, Miles?
I haven't had any job before this job. That's not true. I had a job working for Mark Shapira at the Cleveland Indians, and then Billy bought me from him. So I guess this is my second job.
So you had never been a general manager. You recognized something in him. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And you kind of saw he was like and you had a unique ability, and it was like, man, he could be the dude. So
he's a genius.
He's a genius. We got to get him. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've never done this. You're not used to this kind of job. You're not used to interacting with baseball players and doing all the stuff that, he would normally do. So yeah, you're new at it. All right. I get it. Okay. Here we go. All right. Ready? And action.
Dude, I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them. Which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
But I would never have to cut a player. I mean, unless you... Come on, don't...
Come on, what? Let's practice.
No.
Yeah. I'm a player. And you have to cut me from the roster. Go.
No, I'm not doing this.
You mean no?
No, this is stupid.
Do it.
No.
It's part of the job, man. Oh, God.
Okay, Billy, please sit down. I need to talk to you for a minute.
I'm sitting.
You've been a really great part of this team. And, sometimes you need to do things that are best for the team. I'm sure you can understand that.
You're cutting me.
I'm really sorry.
Dude, I just bought a house here in Oakland.
Oh, well, I'm...
That's all you got to fucking say? My kids just started a new school. They made friends. You know how hard it is for them to make friends?
Well, I mean, you shouldn't pull them out in the middle of the school year. You know, you should you should wait until the summer's over. And
What the hell are you even talking about?
see, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I've never had to do this before. That's why this is stupid. This is why I didn't want to do it. This is dumb. And I'm never going to have to fire a player. So what's the point?
Pete, come on, man. They're professional ball players. Just be straight with them. No fluff. Just facts, man. Like this. Pete, I gotta let you go. Jack's office will handle the details.
That's it?
Would you rather get a bullet to the head or 5 to the chest and bleed to death?
I don't know. Those are my only 2 options.
Oh my God. Pete,
Sane.
All right, you guys, it's getting better. Nice work. Okay, cool. This is a comedy, right?
No.
It's a drama, but
it's a drama.
It's a drama with comedic moments, but I guess this could be one of the funnier scenes.
This is a funnier scene in a drama, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I would say in general, the scene's moving too slow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So in general, when we're dealing with, even if it's a drama, and this is a comedic scene within a drama,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to. Do you have your notebook with you, Cole, or I don't know
Yes.
if you do, or if you just take notes or whatever, or you remember this? But in comedy, it's got to move fast.
Yeah.
Okay? And we can't have all these pauses everywhere. Why? Because a pause in a joke represents a moment to let the audience know that it's a joke. So it's a beat and then a punchline, and then there's a reaction. It's sort of like this classic joke. Take my wife, please, right? So the pause is before please.
Mm-hmm.
So take my wife, as if I'm going to say, take my wife, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The joke is take my wife, take a beat, and then I say, please. That's my punchline. That's where I'm going and saying something unexpected, right? And then the pie, after I say please, isn't landing on your face going, what do I do with that?
Yes.
Okay? So that would be a completely framed joke. So you have some of these moments in the scene, and you need to kind of figure out where those jokes are together, okay? Like what I just gave you as an example. Like, for example, would you rather have 1 to the head or 5 to the chest? This is a joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an obvious question, right? So, Miles, can you move closer to the camera? Because you just look like you're about like a mile away. Can you move?
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I can.
If you can
my camera's already pretty close to my
that's
face.
fine.
There we go.
There you go. That's better. Okay, so like if he asks you this question, where is the punchline?
Right before those my only 2 options?
Yeah, so Cole, we need to get you a copy of the textbook. I know there are a number of people who need to get it, but so we've got to get that mailed out to you. But there's a whole chapter in how to play comedy, and in there he talks about how to set up and pay off a joke. And what it is we lead the audience in one direction and make them think that you're going to say one thing, and then we do something completely different or say something completely different. So we set them up by saying, would you rather have 1 to the chest or one to the head, 5? What is it? 1 to the head and 5 to the chest?
Yeah.
5 to the chest? Is it in that order?
Yes.
Would you rather have 1 bullet to the head or would you rather have 5 to the chest, right? So that's the setting up of the joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a pause, a little beat. And then you say, are those my only 2 options? Like, can I take poison? Or can I, like, do a knife, like razor? Like, so your pause is right before you say, what, Miles?
Are those my only two options?
Yeah. So when you say, are those my only two options? There are things about that are funny. Number one, the line in and of itself is funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also funny seeing you say it completely still, not moving at all, like a statue. Are those my only two options? Almost like you're paralyzed with fear, right? So that is a funny, there are reasons people laugh. There are principles. People don't laugh accidentally. And when you learn them, it's kind of weird. When you go, really? I didn't know that. People just laughed. But no, there are principles. For example, people laugh when something is funny to look at. Like, for example, you being completely still like that. People laugh when things happen that are unexpected, opposite to what we would expect. So we would expect you, Miles, to go, oh, God, are those my only two options? We would expect you to do all of that, not, are those my only two options? We would not expect that, right? That's why it is a funnier moment, because you're not moving.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that is a setup and a payoff of a joke. So you're going to sit there saying, are those my only two options? And then that is a pie, in a sense, a cherry pie that is going to be thrown right in your face, Cole. And you're just going to just sit there and go, and that's all you do. Just.
Okay.
And so as a straight man in a joke, which you are in this scene, you're the straight man, okay? You don't want to do too much. Okay, so like as a straight man, like if he's throwing a pie, if you go, it kills it.
Yeah.
You just sit there and do nothing. So just say the line, Miles, are those my only two options?
Are those my only two options?
Now just look at him. What happened, Miles? We lost your camera.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got a potential spam call.
Killing me here. Right in the middle of a joke. All right. Okay.
All right.
Can you move up closer? I'm just teasing you. Okay, so one more time.
That's as close as I can get.
This is great. This is perfect. That's great.
Okay.
Just like this is great. Can you say the line again? Are those my only two options?
Are those my only two options?
And all you do is look at him like that. That's it. Okay, that's all you do. Cole, that is it. And if you notice in the scene, you didn't do that. What did you do?
Yeah. I did too much.
What did you do?
I was like, oh my God.
Right. You did all that stuff, and that kills it.
Yeah, I played it up.
Yeah, you played it up. You what they call that is improving a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and improving a moment is death.
Yeah.
Okay, so and also it wasn't even honest. It was what you thought you should do, and that's what actors do as a mistake. Yeah. We give what we think what we should do. It's crazy how much funnier it is when you just blank stare. You're right, Augie. It is funnier. I agree. So it's true, and it's in. I was just talking about comedy in the scene right before this today. So it's kind of like a nice way to kind of move right into the same segment. So that's the first thing as far as, this whole scene in and of itself, as far as the timing of your jokes. Okay. The big thing that's funny about this scene for you, Miles, is the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we don't expect you as a general manager to be sensitive, and like, feeling, I assume. Would that be fair to say, Cole?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have general managers in basketball?
Yeah.
We're losing your camera again, Miles. Maybe you can hit it on.
I just got the 10% low battery mark that time. Different notification. Sorry.
All right. It's all good.
There's GMs in basketball.
Yeah. So GMs in basketball, I assume, are probably not really emotional, or are they?
No, it depends on the GM, but most of the time they're kind of pretty stoic.
Cutthroat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing one who would be like sensitive, is that going to would that throw you if you suddenly saw this in Miles? Like what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to make sure that you keep that in mind, that when he shows the side to you, that I'm not okay. I know he's a genius. He's like some weird, crazy genius and wizard, and but it's going to be worth it if he can do what I saw him do. I can tolerate this, but it's still difficult. Okay, so but a lot of the humor is going to be coming from you being like this warm and fuzzy, sensitive general manager who has too much love for his teammates. Okay, and can't fire them. So like when you said the line, So what do you say? You say, okay, so I want you to fire them, and you say no. Is that what you say, Miles?
Yeah.
So what is the line exactly, Cole, that you say?
I say, I'm a player and you got to cut me from the roster. Go.
Okay,
then,
so is that so? How did? Okay, so let me just real quick. What are the first lines of the scene? Just run through the first lines of the scene.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them,
So
send them down.
that's how the scene starts, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
then,
go ahead. I can't develop personal relationships. Go on.
yep. And then I'm like, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Okay, and then you say, and what do you say, Miles?
Why? I would never have to cut a player unless you, come on.
And
That's
then-
when I notice these.
And
Come on,
then
what?
on what? And then
Practice.
No.
okay. So the first joke, the first punchline, is what?
No.
No. That's the first time that
Because we
something
weren't
is said
expecting
or
you to
done
say
in the
this.
scene that is unexpected. Would you guys agree?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would agree.
So what does that mean? That means we have no pauses until that line.
Okay.
So
Okay.
literally no pauses. So we go pause, no.
Okay.
All right. So try doing the line like that. Go.
Okay. Writing it down. Okay. From the top.
Yeah, I want you to just do it, but do not pause until you say the word no, Miles. Take a beat and say no.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just ping Cole again real quick. There
Huh?
we go.
What's up?
Nothing. I'm ready now.
Okay, so just make sure that when you say no, the humor of this is the fact that you're so still.
Okay.
You know, like paralyzed with fear. You know,
Right.
because again, we would expect you to be like all emotional and like, no, I can't do this, and that's not as funny as just no.
Mhm.
So no movement from you. Okay. So ready? Go ahead, Cole.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them.
Try that again, and I want you to be more like, a friendly, warm guy, because we don't want to play the end of the scene at the beginning, right?
Okay.
Because the humor of this is going to be when he says no, right?
Right.
So we don't want you to lead the scene off with you already knowing he's going to say no.
Okay.
So start it with like, hey, it's a great day. I'm going to send you on the road with the team, but hey, I got a little thing I got to tell you. It's not a big deal. All general managers know this. You know this, I'm sure. Probably you've heard this before. We can't develop personal relationships with a team. So, go ahead.
Okay.
Keep it positive.
Dude, I can't develop personal relationships with these guys.
Say, hang on a second. You're saying it defensively. Like, you're like, come on, like, what the fuck? I'm suggesting that it's not like that. It's like, hey, I just want to tell you a side part of the job. Like, we can't develop unless that's how the scene is done. Is it like you are having an argument?
No.
Okay, so can you
And
introduce
what he can't do, like,
okay, so then can you say the scene? Can you start the scene with like, so today what we're going to do is we're going to go for a walk on the beach, and then we're going to have a milkshake, and then we're going to go swimming.
okay.
Give me that vibe so that we think it's all good stuff, so that there's just no fucking way he would say no.
Okay.
That's like saying, do you want a milkshake? No. What do you mean? Milkshakes are good. No.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Go.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys.
Hang on a second. This is what you're doing, Cole. You're doing this. Maybe you don't even realize it. You're saying, I can't develop relationships with these guys. I can't do it. And I'm saying it in a way that I'm like feeling like I gotta defend myself. Instead of more open and warm like this, I can't develop personal relationships with these guys, almost like a therapist.
Okay.
A warm, positive, healthy, happy therapist. Go.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them. Which is
That's too long of a pause.
One
more time. I know comedy's the hardest thing to do, Cole. Okay?
Okay.
Can you be a little bit more peppy, a little bit more positive, a little bit more happy? I can't develop personal relationships. We're going to go to the beach. Go, like you're smiling now.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them. which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Why? I would never have to cut a player unless you. Come on.
Come on, what? Let's practice.
No.
Okay, good. So no pause before let's practice.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, one more time, and then I got to move on to the next scene. But no pause before let's practice. So
Okay.
just real quick, don't even act it. Just do the line. Just say the line, and don't pause until you say no. Just do the line.
Okay.
Don't even act it.
Okay. I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn how to do, by the way.
So don't even take a pause before which is something.
Sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Why? I would never have to cut a player.
I want you to jump on the line, Miles. No pause
Okay.
before you say which don't pause there, okay?
I'll take it from.
Can you not pause there, Miles?
Yeah.
Okay, try one more time.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Why? I would never have to cut a player unless you. Come on.
Come on, what? Let's practice.
Pause,
No.
pause. Then you say no, right? Okay, and then also unless you and then you what's going unless you can't just stop yourself. You have to be cut off. So you're stopping yourself right now, Miles, as if you know that you have
I'm stopping myself?
Well, because don't you say unless you and then you isn't that your line?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You're
I just kind of
stopping
figured we were just kind of saying the lines. Normally, I would say, come on, reacting off of Cole, but I was just trying to
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm saying
it out.
go ahead and ad lib if you have an and you ... until Cole cuts you off.
Okay, so during that line, I would never have to cut a player unless you want me to just sort of ad lib until he says something.
Well, because don't you say
until he gives me that look.
Well,
I give him a look. I'm like,
okay, so what's the line exactly? You say, don't you have a line where you say and you or something like that, Miles?
I would never have to cut a player unless.
And then you say.
And it's in my mind, unless you were to make me do that.
Okay, so
then
the
line is I would never have to cut a player unless ...
Okay, so then you just keep talking, and just keep talking until you get the look from him, and then he's gonna say his line.
Okay.
So don't stop yourself, is what I'm saying. Just ad lib. One more time.
Sure.
Just do the lines.
From the beginning.
From the beginning,
that
just
line.
just do the lines.
okay. I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Why? I would never have to cut a player. I mean, unless you were to make me cut. Oh, come on.
On what? Let's practice.
No.
Okay, that was it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feel it?
Feels good.
Yeah. Thanks. This helps.
Does that make sense, Cole?
It does. Yeah.
Did it make sense to you, Miles, as well?
Yeah.
Did you guys see how much funnier it was though? Like when you all those places and you just took that one little beat, that one pause when you said no?
Yeah.
That's what you guys got to do for the rest of the scene, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you have any questions? No?
Nope.
All right, you guys work on it, bring it back,
All right.
and break a leg, or what do you say? Do you say in basketball, do you say break a leg? And act?
No, don't say that in basketball. I mean.
What do you say? Do you say, what do you say?
Go get buckets or make a lot of threes.
Make a lot of threes.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But you don't say, like in acting, you don't say good luck. You say.
No, that's like a super,
But I would say is like make a lot of threes.
Yeah, go kill it. Yeah.
Go kill it. I'm going to sound like a dork saying it that
way. Go get buckets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Drop 40 on them, Cole.
Brad, thank you.
Miles, I am not going to go say go get buckets. I just can't.
Why not?
It just sounds so stupid coming from my mouth. It's a good line for your age, but for me, it just sounds so weird. So what can I say as my, what would somebody like a teacher say? Like somebody like my age? Go nail it. Go win.
Kill it.
Catch
that dub.
Kill it. Knock him dead.
I will not say that.
That's a good one.
Go win. I don't know.
All right, go kill it. I'll say go. How about this? Could I say go kill it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
That's what I'm saying. Go kill it. All right.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
Appreciate it. All right, cool. You guys ready?
Ready?
All right.
Yes.
Here we go. Ready? Let me make one adjustment here. Hang on. Almost ready. I just want to format this. Don't anticipate the line. As far as you're concerned, Cole, everything is going to go well. I mean, it's easy. It's a happy day. We're going to go out for milkshakes after this. Okay?
Yeah.
As far as you're concerned, this is a good day, Miles. You have a great job. Action.
Dude, I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them and send them down, sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Why? But I would never have to cut another player. I mean, unless you were to like, come on.
Come on, what? Let's practice.
No.
Yeah. I'm a player, and you got to cut me from the roster. Go.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
Do it.
No, this is stupid.
It's part of the job, man.
Okay, fine. Billy, could you please have a seat? I need to talk to you for a minute.
I'm sitting, but go on.
So, you've been a really great part of this team, a really special part of this team, and I know that, well, sometimes you have to make decisions that are best for the team. So, well, I'm sure you can understand that as a previous player.
Cutting me, aren't you?
I'm really sorry.
I just bought a house here in Oakland.
Well,
That's all you can say? My kids just started a new school, and they made friends.
Well, you shouldn't take them out in the middle of the school year. You should wait.
What the hell are you talking about, man?
I don't know, okay? I don't know. This is stupid. All right, like, I didn't want to do this, and I'm never going to have to fire anybody, so what's the point? This is dumb.
They're professional ball players, man. Just be straight with them. No fluff, just facts. Like this. Pete, I got to let you go. Jack's office will handle the details.
Wait, what? That's it?
Would you rather get a bullet to the head or 5 to the chest and bleed to death?
Are those my only two options?
That was really good, you guys. Nice job. Nice job. It's getting there. It's so close. They're still not done. It's still not done. It's close. It's like there are so many nice things that are happening. I feel like there really is a communication going on between the two of you. I feel like you know each other as well as you have explained that you know each other. I feel like you're...
That's good.
I believe that you're the general manager, Cole. And incidentally, Mara asked about you today when I was on the phone with her. I told her you're a very hard worker and you're doing great. I said the same thing about you, Jaron, by the way, if you're listening. Anyway, she did happen to bring your name up today. So I appreciate how hard you're working. She knows that. She really loves that. But that's a side note. Let's see. All I'm asking myself is, am I going to book you for my movie?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I'm probably not going to book you. Now, why am I not going to book you? All right, let's start with you, Miles. You guys have the right look, both of you. And you're on the right track, both of you. It feels so safe. It just feels so easy. Yeah. Like the idea of firing somebody bothered you. But like it didn't bother you to the degree that I would hire you for my movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the humor of this scene is the fact that, you're suffering more than the person who's getting fired.
Okay.
Do you understand the humor of that?
The wrong person suffering, like that sort of thing.
I mean, it doesn't
joke was funny about the scene.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to necessarily say there's a basic joke in this because you told me this is a drama. But like...
Right. That's why I was a little bit, I guess, confused on how to attack it.
Well, I mean, it is supposed to be a lighter scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just have to ask yourself, all right, well, from 0 to 100, how freaked out am I over this idea firing somebody, and 100 is I got to get to a mental hospital. 0 is nothing. Where am I right now when he says, all right, you got to fire somebody?
Are you saying where am I
Where
at?
are you?
Trying to judge myself, or
Said,
where should I be at?
well,
thinking?
Again, okay, so that's a good question. It's hard to say that when you're obviously executing the scene, you cannot be in that state where you're trying to. There's a should where I should be, okay? Because obviously they're not going to see you push, but you can build the scene up in a way, and you can say, all right, I'm a guy who has a fear of hurting people's feelings. I have a fear of firing somebody because they're not going to have an income. Maybe you have a history where maybe your dad was fired and you guys lost food on the table. Maybe you were kicked out of your house. Maybe your mom left your father, when he got fired. So you would want to build these circumstances into the scene to up the stakes for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not, again, it's not that you're doing anything wrong, because you're not. It's just that I'm saying, I'm not going, I got to have this guy in my movie. And that's what I want. You're capable of this. But you've got it, both of you. Do you understand what I say to you, that you have to up the stakes, what that means? What does that mean to you, Miles? If I say, Miles, you have to up the stakes, what does that mean to you?
Make it, or flesh it out more and make it more interesting to the audience. I mean, make my character have more to lose if everything.
Okay, so don't worry about the audience, but yes, I have to have more to lose. There have to be more serious consequences to the idea of me firing somebody. Like maybe I'm compromising myself as a human being. Like maybe I've made a promise to myself that I would never do anything like that. Who knows? Like whatever equation you've created in your brain, you need to set it up in a way so that literally when I'm looking at you, you should look like you're about to faint.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to be too easy. So when you say to me, well, should I be? I mean, if you haven't prepared the scene correctly, then my answer to your question would be no, you shouldn't be. You should be where you are. So if you have not prepared in a way that the stakes are really high, like I'm about to faint when he tells me you have to fire people, and then he says, I bought a house. I just bought a house in Oakland. And if you have not built this up in a way and flushed it out in a way by saying, all right, why is this freaking me out? Maybe I lived in Oakland. Maybe, we lost our house when my dad was fired. And this is a tender nerve for you.
Okay.
You create circumstances, or you just kind of go, well, where in life have I been really freaked out? So you can use your imagination to create those stakes. Or you can just go, well, where has this happened to me? I'm saying to both of you, the stakes have to be higher. Cole, the stakes have to be higher. What happens if he says no? And you say to him, no, I want to practice. And if you notice, like, when you tested him, you would think that when you tested him, that the testing would have gotten easier. But you actually make it worse by saying, I just bought a house in Oakland, and how am I going to pay my bills? Like, how do you get there? Like, what makes you decide that I'm going to go down that path rather than kind of backing off and easing off a little bit and letting him, Miles, kind of acclimate to this idea? What makes you go there?
I want it to be high stakes for him to have to understand like what a player could say in this situation, because they could definitely. Why is that
important to you?
That's important to me because, like we said, this is my guy, and if he can't do something like this, and it's supposed to be a simple task to do as a part of the organization, as an assistant GM, this is part of his job. So
and why does that? So he's part of the job. They don't like him. They say, get out of here. And they say, Billy, find somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's it?
I mean,
If you set it up that way, yeah, that's it. But what could we do to make the stakes higher? What if you make it and set it in a way that if he doesn't do what I'm asking him to do, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
I am a failure as a teacher, as a mentor, as a coach.
Put it
Like
on
if
me.
I can't get this guy who I believe in to do this, I suck.
Yes.
And then personalize it. And then you go, well, where have I been in a position like that? Where I was talking to somebody, like maybe it's a little, maybe it's a cousin, a friend, a little brother, or somebody who needs help, and they're not getting it.
Mm.
And you're, let's say you have a brother, and let's say your brother, I'm just using this as an example. This didn't happen, but I'm just using a random example. Do you have a brother or a sister?
I have an older sister.
So let's say your older sister is a kleptomaniac. Okay, and she steals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she steals and she gets caught. Right? And she's home, and what's her name?
Alexa.
You cannot be going into the stores and stealing shit. You got to pay for it. And she goes, I get it. I get it. I understand. So tomorrow, you're like, it's fine. Cops call, bring her back. She stole shit again.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened again. And now you're saying, I don't understand. You just told me that you weren't going to steal things, and you're doing it. And she says to you, well, I'm sorry. I have a compulsion. I need to steal. I need to satisfy that urge in me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when
I'm
I tell
pissed.
you this? As a brother.
As a brother, I'm probably pretty angry because I feel like I've been played. I've been lied to.
Okay, so you've been lied to, and then what? What happens if your sister ends up in prison?
Then
Who failed?
Me.
You.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is I'm asking you to build those kinds of circumstances into the scene.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we're just having a tough time flipping back and forth between, are we making it a comedy where it's fast-paced and lighthearted, or are we making it pretty serious? And I'm just like, dude, get your shit together.
Okay, well, first of all, let me just answer that question. Number one, even if it was a comedy, which it's not, the characters believe it's a drama anyway. Mm-hmm. So you guys don't know it's funny. Even if you were doing a sitcom, your character believes it's a drama.
Right.
So your character never thinks it's funny. Ever.
Okay.
In any style I ever teach you. You think did you ever watch The Office?
Yeah, we watched The Office. Yeah, I watched The Office all the time.
You've seen The Office, right?
Yeah.
Remember Dwight?
One of my favorites.
Remember Dwight Schrute?
Yes. He thinks, yeah, you're right. He thinks.
Does he think things are funny when he's trying to be like the assistant manager?
No.
He thinks it's deadly serious, right?
Yeah.
We get to laugh.
Yeah.
So you got to take this serious. I'm a failure. I'm a failure in their eyes, but even worse, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror because when I wake up in the morning, I'm a champion.
Mm-hmm.
And when I wake up in the morning tomorrow and he can't fire people, I can't say that. I have not done my job. I'm failing. How does it feel to fail for you? What are the consequences?
I can relate it to losing. Like, we just lost our basketball tournament and I'm still struggling. I'm pissed. Like, you're pissed. Like, yeah. I feel
all
like
right. So that was a tournament, right? Now, this would be a good example. So it was a tournament, right? And I'm going to just make a guess that it was I think you said it was like the Nationals, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that the Olympics would be more important than that?
Yes.
Okay, what if it was the Olympics and you lost?
Yeah.
Would the stakes be higher?
Yes.
Can you take on that vibe right now of
I can,
like as you're talking to Miles going, if you don't fucking fire them, I'm going to feel that feeling like I lost in the Olympics?
Mm-hmm.
That's what substitution is for.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a vibe of how you might feel. You're not going to say, hey, I'm going to feel this way, but you're planting seeds so that when you execute the scene, it might be there because you kind of planted it there.
Right.
Does that explain it?
Yes.
So if you're using, hey, yeah, I just did this basketball tournament, I'm kind of pissed off still. Mm-hmm. Well, I would say to you, you've made a choice that the stakes are still not high enough. It needs to be absolutely life-changingly devastating.
Okay.
This guy doesn't do this. And you got to figure out why that is. And the same with you, Miles. The idea of not being able to fire somebody, what does that mean to you? I'm a failure. How do you feel about it?
I feel like I'm put in a really uncomfortable situation because it's not something I'm comfortable doing, but I know I have to do it if I don't want to be. I don't know if people get blacklisted from baseball, but I imagine if you refuse to fire someone, no GM will hire you. So it's like, where'd my career go? Down the toilet. I have to go back to what?
Let's just play this out for a second. He says you're going to fire this person. You go over there and you try to fire them and you can't do it. You get fired. Then where do you go?
Do you mean like chronologically? Home?
Yeah.
Or do you mean emotionally?
Where would you go to get work?
I have no experience doing anything, so probably as like a secretary somewhere.
Maybe like an analyst of some sort.
Like an analyst, yeah.
I mean, isn't that how you kind of found him? Because he was like a genius when it came to like math and
yeah.
Stats, analyzing.
Analytics, sorry. Yeah.
So did you like that job?
I mean, it's fine. It's not as exciting as being the assistant GM of the Oakland A's.
This is an example of stakes. The answer to that question should be going to stats makes me want to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like saying to an actor, how do you feel about waiting tables tonight? It makes me want to puke.
Right.
That's the way I feel right now. So if you don't go and fire that person, you're going to be doing stats again. Now, if you don't know what kind of consequences that is, you as Miles need to get in touch with, well, what is the kind of gig that I would need to do that makes me sick to my stomach? I'm sure you can come up with something. A job, a situation that you would have to be in that makes you sick, that makes you go, oh my God, that's what's going to happen if I don't fire this person.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do.
You have a moment?
Do I have a moment that
you have a moment right now of a situation that would make you sick if you had to start doing that job again?
Yeah, I can think of something.
Has anything ever happened to you? Like, have you ever had to do a job that you were just like, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again? I
really, really.
I don't even need to know what it is. I don't need to know what it is, but I'm just asking if you have it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't fire this person, it's going to feel like that.
Okay.
And you're now in your dream job. Okay? Hey, it says Oakland A's everywhere, right? You're in like the stadium. You look out your little window and there's like 30, 40, 50,000 seats. And instead of doing this, you're going to be a fucking janitor. Okay? That's where we are, right? And he comes in, start the scene from action. We'll just do a few lines. And Cole, you're a failure if you don't get him to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're a failure as a man. I thought you were a champion. I thought you were a legend. Are you?
Yeah.
Well, no, you're not, because you're not getting him to fire anybody.
Yeah.
You're a failure. You're the guy who couldn't pull it off. Action.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, and sometimes cut them, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
How does he look right now, Cole, looking at you? Does he look like a winner?
No.
It looks like if I flipped you in, it looks like if I flipped you in the forehead, you'd fall over, Miles. I thought you were going to be a general manager. So wouldn't you want to put on a mask of I'm a success? Because if he's looking at you and you're going, oh God, I just want to go to the bathroom, why would he even talk to you? He'd be like, what's wrong with you? You look like a wafy weakling. You got to put on that, it's called a mask.
Right.
You got to put on the mask of, I'm good. I like firing people. I can do this. Makes it harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Action.
I can't develop.
Play off of Miles, Cole. Look at him.
I can't develop personal relationships with these guys. I got to be able to trade them, send them down, sometimes cut them.
Does he hear you?
Yeah,
Keep going. Just make sure he hears you.
dude, which is something you should learn to do, by the way.
Do you
Why,
hear
bro?
him, Miles?
Yeah.
Continue. Take it in.
Well, I would never have to cut a player. I mean, unless you were to like make me. Or... Come on.
Come on, what? Let's practice.
No.
Okay, very good. So let's stop for a second. That was a lot better. Okay, you should have felt more connected. You had more to lose. Did it feel that way to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, did it, or are you just saying that?
I actually genuinely felt it did.
What about you, Cole?
Yes.
Okay, so here's an example of a moment. I have to move on, you guys. I love working with you, but I have to move on. But
Yes, of course.
this is a moment where you go, let's practice. And I'm going, Cole, where the fuck did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get that idea? And that's called flushing out a moment. That's going, wait a minute, hang on a second. He says he would fire somebody, but I don't believe him. Whatever your choice is, I need to get it in you. What gets you to say the line, let's practice? Because he just said, right before you said, let's practice, what do you say, Miles?
This is stupid. I say no.
No,
No,
you say
before he
I
says,
would
let's
have to cut a
practice.
player.
Before
I
he
guess
says, let's
I have to look.
practice.
He says I would have to cut a player unless you. Oh, come on.
Oh,
That one.
Is that what you say? Okay, come on. Come on, you
Peterson.
guys. What's the
Yeah.
line?
Sam. Sorry. I can't find it.
No, I got it.
My
Here.
line is why I would never have to cut a player unless you, and then I
Unless
say,
you,
come
and
on.
then- okay, and then you say, okay, wait, unless you, and then what happens? You say something, Cole?
No, I give him a look.
You give
I'm
him a
looking-
look, and then you do what?
Come on, what? Let's practice.
Wait, hang on a second. You give him a look, and then you say what? Come on?
Yeah. As
Okay,
in
so
like, oh,
come on
come on,
referring to
man.
what? What's come on referring to?
You're going to make me fire somebody, a big,
That's not
scary
part of the
professional
job.
athlete?
Come on, you're putting me on, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not really part of the gig, is it? That wasn't on the list when I said I was going to do this. Fire people. Come on. Yeah? So he says, yeah, that's why you say it. And he says, come on. And then off of that, Cole, you go, wait, I don't think this fucking guy gets it. All right, hang on a second. What am I dealing with here? Okay, hang on a minute. Let's practice. Okay? I am going to be a guy and you're going to fire me. I want you to do it now. Do it now. I am in the fucking major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
How does it feel to see him go, oh, come on, I'm not going to really have to do that? What's going on with you there? He doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. And I'm kind of like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
well, why doesn't he get it?
Because I haven't made him get it.
You haven't made him get it. You didn't do your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take that on. You failed as a mentor. You didn't tell him. Or you didn't make it clear enough to him that, you didn't make it clear enough to him that was part of the job. What do you have, 17 phones?
Sorry about that. My sister is calling me.
You with me?
Yes.
If I was teaching you as I'm your acting teacher, and I see you do something, and I've said, and you're not doing it, and I know that I've taught you this lesson, and you're not doing it, I'm going, what am I missing?
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing here? What am I not communicating? As an acting teacher, I have to talk to every student like a translator, because different people hear it differently. Like the way I talk to you may be different how I talk to Miles or Jody or Jaron, and you guys are going to get it in different lights. Well, apparently he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So if I was teaching you, Cole, and I thought, oh, of course he understands this concept of substitution. And I say, okay, Cole, I want you to do substitution and pretend, that you're freaking out because somebody's dead. Action. And you're going, I'm scared. I go, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say substitution is? And then you go, well, isn't it kind of like when I think of something? Obviously, I did not make it clear enough to you what it is. Well, you've got to take that on and put it on to Miles.
Okay.
You don't get it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Miles?
Yeah.
You've got to up the stakes, man. You can't just meander and walk through this scene. Otherwise, it's going to appear, Miles, like you don't care if you have this job. Are you making a choice that this is an important job to you?
That it is important? Yes.
Yes. How important is this job to you?
The most important.
Okay, so what is the most important? It's like for you as Miles acting.
Right. It's like if yeah.
Yeah, like you're on a Spielberg movie, and Spielberg
Right.
is saying to you, I want you to say this line, and you go, no, I won't say it. It's against my religion.
Yeah.
And Spielberg's going, what the fuck are you talking about? Just say the fucking line. I can't say that line. I can't. Your career, we can see it going down the toilet as you're saying this.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Wasn't there.
This is not fucking, what is it? What's the league below the minor leagues, Cole?
This is
Below
amateur.
minor league baseball?
Yeah.
College, I guess.
Not, I mean, after college, when you're not even in the minors, where you're just kind of like playing in a club. I don't even know what you would call it, but like city league.
Well, there's like AAA and AA and single A minor league baseball.
All right,
But then
so whatever.
below that is like a men's league or playing softball.
Yeah.
All right,
if
so
you were,
that's basically the way I'm looking at you right now. This is not fucking softball.
Okay.
This is the majors. They're televising your games.
Yes.
There are 1,000 people. I can't stress this enough to you guys, and I'm hoping everybody is listening, because this applies to everybody. There are 1,000 people out there, Miles, that want your job to be this assistant manager in the A's. And you're playing it like, well, fuck it. If I don't get this one, I'll sign up with the San Francisco, or I'll go over to Seattle, or I know, New England, they want me.
yeah.
You've got to make a choice that nobody else wants you. And the only place you've ever wanted to play or be a general manager is the Oakland A's. Why? You got to look into that and go, well, why is the Oakland A's so important to me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where you were born. Maybe that's where you were raised. Maybe you want to be able to general manage a team where your family lives so they can watch you when you're doing home games.
Mm-hmm.
This is the improv stuff that you build into the scene. So I hope I'm not being too hard on you guys,
Not at all.
but
No.
I am trying to give you a reality check.
For sure.
It's just the competition is too stiff.
Yeah.
You're going to get to a level where, there's going to be let's assume there's 100 guys auditioning for each of your roles. Okay. Of the 100, let's say 80 of them don't have the right look. So
Yeah.
20 of them have the right look and 10 of them can't act. So now
Yeah.
we're left with 10 guys who all have the right look and all can act.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they going to hire you?
Hmm.
And that's where we are today.
Gotcha.
Make me hire you. Make me
Okay.
go, I need that guy in my movie. Even though this guy was on TV last night, I don't give a shit. I want that guy in my movie because he's bringing something to the scene that I need that only Miles or Cole can bring.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, work on it, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Good work.
Right.
Thank you for hanging in there.